We, Indian Society of Heating, Refrigerating and Air Conditioning Engineers, ISHRE, stand tall in the Indian industry with over 10,000 professionals as members and almost an equal number of student members. Founded in 1981 and headquartered in Delhi, we operate from chapters and sub-chapters spread all over India, bringing our entire industry together. Individuals become members of our society according to their professional and academic standings. Our roadmap to the future looks very bright, with thousands of new members joining this technical society every year and bringing in a fresh outlook to our industry intelligence. ISHRE disseminates knowledge through its technical committees, which consists of some of the best minds of our industry. It publishes technical books, newsletters, and a prestigious journal, distributing the wealth of knowledge to all its members. Working with government departments, ISHRE helps formalize industry codes and standards. ISHRE promotes research by offering financial support to student members to carry out groundbreaking work in technology, systems, and processes. Our educational wing, ISHRE Institute of Excellence, organizes training programs and workshops to help members enhance their skill sets. Our specially designed certification programs under ICP
Hello. Good evening, all.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. I am audible.
Yes, yes.
Myself, N. Ram, Program Chair, ISHRE Jaipur Chapter. I would like to introduce our today's expert speaker, Mr. Sunil Sood. He is mechanical engineer and he is working as a consultant with his company LCG Energy Consultants Private Limited, Bhopal. Presently, he is engaged with the Griha Shiksha and also started Mission Sustainable India 2020 for a vision document for taking India to a sustainable development by 2020. I would like to welcome and Mr. Sood to start our today's presentation. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Ram. And good evening to all. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, sir. Shailendra,
The presentation, shall I have to share, or you how to share the presentation? My presentation.
Shailendra? Hello.
Hello, good evening. I can see Mr. Iyer. Hello, Mr. Iyer. Good evening, sir. Mr. Ashok, Amit Kakkarji. Nice names. Dhananjay also is there. Hello, Dhananjay. Mr. Godial, Dr. Godial. Good evening, everyone. So today's topic is sustainable buildings for sustainable India. Short while
Hello.
presentation, my presentation part. I have to connect. How to connect my presentation? So we have tried to connect today's topic with our Mission Sustainable India 2022, which envisions integrated approach towards sustainability instead of in silos or compartmentalized approach. Then we see that finally, buildings have a very big role, because buildings are the ones which are visible, which have the large visibility and a large impact on social, economic, and environmental aspects. So, if buildings are made sustainable, it helps us spreading the overall sustainability concepts. Are we able to connect to the presentation, Mr. Ram?
Yes, sir. I have to take some technical
It's
help
all
from
right.
Shailendra.
Okay. So, in the meantime, I would request the participants to please, if you have any questions in the beginning of the presentation itself, because the topic is quite well known already, and if at any point they would like to me to cover. So, as we all know already, what is sustainability and what is sustainable development, I will not go too much into that, but I would like to draw the attention towards the 5 P's of sustainability. Means sustainable development has 5 dimensions. That is planet, that is taking care of the planet and environment, environmental sustainability. Then people, that is taking care of the society, social sustainability. Then prosperity, that is taking care of the economic sustainability, because without economic sustainability also it cannot, nothing can be sustainable. Then 2 more dimensions were added in 2015, that is peace and partnership, because even if we have
Excuse me, sir.
hello, yes,
Sir, your screen is not shared yet.
my screen is not shared.
Yeah.
Okay, is it shared now?
No, we are not getting, sir.
Webinar. Okay, this one.
No, yet not. We are getting video of your only. Yeah, now it's shared. Yes.
Wait, no. It's all right now. It shows share has begun.
Sir, you have to now you have to start your presentation, the PPT or something.
Okay. Okay. How to share the PPT?
I think you have to open that file with at your system,
Yeah, I opened. Then
but that is not visible basically.
because this app I'm not very conversant.
Mhm.
Sharing, where is that? Where is the share option?
It is just left above corner, upper corner of your this below the yeah.
How to share the PPT?
Actually, your screen has to. I think you have to open this file only, which
I
you have to
opened
share.
my laptop. It is open now, but it's not visible.
Okay.
Hello, Dhananjay, you're saying something? Dhananjay? Hello, Dhananjay, you're telling something?
Hello, there is Mr. Kapil Megrani is there.
Kapil is not there, I think. See, there is no option of sharing the file.
Hello.
I'm not seeing the share, any option for sharing the PPT. This Zoho.com, I'm not sure. Hello? There are no options here to share the file. Yes, Dhananjay? Hello?
Sir, you have to stop screen sharing
Stop
and
sharing.
then reshare.
I will stop sharing.
Okay, then your file is open, sir.
Open,
Uh,
yeah.
Present. Now you start again share screen sharing.
Again, start sharing, is it?
Yes, yes.
Hello?
Yes, yes, sir. And you have to choose that file only
Acha, acha.
to share.
You are on the. But a presentation, how will I share? Oh, it's open now.
Then you have to go to this start sharing again.
No, started sharing.
But right now only video is coming.
How to share the PPT? Is there any way, any inbox?
I think we have to take some technical
Start
help.
sharing means allow share screen permission. Okay, allowed. Then I think we have to unmute others. No, all are muted. I think. Please revoke screen sharing permission as indicated. Hello.
Hello,
Yeah.
sir. I'm trying to get help from Mr. Kapil Megrani. He will be guiding us.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I'll reply to some questions are there.
Okay.
Does sustainable building mean net zero energy building? If not, what is the difference? Khyati. Hello, Khyati. Uh, Sustainable building actually is much more than net zero energy building. Net zero energy building only relates to only about the utilization of energy. But sustainable building comprises of all other aspects of sustainability, including social and economic. So all five dimensions. But net zero building mostly covers only related to energy. So I hope that answers to it. No other question. Hello. हेलो, हाँ 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 हाँ, कुछ नहीं आ रहा है यार, बार बार वो जा रहा है, एक मैसेज आ रहा है, प्लीज रिवोक स्क्रीन शेयरिंग परमिशन एज illustrated in the picture below, try sharing again. फ्रॉम को मिनिमाइज करके, अच्छा, तो अभी मिनिमाइज कर दिया, अभी अब आ रहे हैं? कैसे आएगा? वो दोनों का कनेक्शन का कैसे है? पीपीटी तो अलग है, वो अलग है। पीपीटी दिख रहा है मिनिमाइज करने के बाद? नहीं दिख रहा ना? तो हाउ टू शेयर? उसमें जो जूम में एक शेयरिंग ऑप्शन आता है, शेयरिंग, इसमें वो ऑप्शन नहीं आ रहा है। आधा घंटा तो यार वो पार्टिसिपेंट विल गेट बोर्ड। अच्छा, मैं ऐसे ही बोल दूं क्या? ऐसे वॉइस वॉइस ठीक से नहीं आ रहा है क्या? हेलो हेलो कपिल, हाँ हाय कपिल, आई एम फाइंडिंग इट डिफिकल्ट टू शेयर दैट पीपीटी। कैसे? हाँ, नहीं आया उसमें कहीं भी। स्टार्ट शेयरिंग एक है, तो बार बार एक गलत आ जा रहा है कुछ बटन। वो दिख रहा है? वो नहीं दिख रहा
Hello, Sunil sir. I am Amit Kakkad. Is I am audible?
है। हाँ हाँ, नहीं कोई, अच्छा ठीक है, ओके।
Sunil ji.
हाँ भेजा है मैंने, नितेश को भेजा था मैंने, नितेश को। हाँ 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 हाँ, ओके ओके, हाँ हाँ।
Sunil ji, I am Amit Kakkad. Is I am audible?
नमस्कार।
How are you? Sir, if there is any problem, I will request you start your talk without presentation. We will hear it. है ना? Instead of so that we can hear.
ओके,
Hello. Yeah, evening, sir. So, sir, are you able to share the screen now?
Kapil,
Yes, sir.
you have a presentation with you?
Yes, sir. I'm having the presentation with me.
So you share with it from your
Yes,
screen.
Yes, sir. Just now I'm doing that. I've yeah. Give me a minute. I'm just doing that. So, Sunil sir, you can just continue and do let me know when to go on the next screen, and we can proceed on that.
So you first share the screen, then you will start speaking.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One minute.
basically, today what some different points I was thinking of talking.
Sunil sir, you should be slightly louder.
Sustainable buildings, green buildings. Most of us already know. I wanted to connect it with Mission Sustainable India. Oh, thanks. It has come.
Make it full screen. Make it full screen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 1 minute. 1 minute. Yeah. 1 minute.
Yeah. It's visible now.
Yeah, it's quite visible. You please now continue.
Thanks, Kapil.
Yes, sir. I'm just changing the slide. Do let me know. I'm at your assistance. Yeah.
Yeah. You can go to next slide.
Yes, sir.
Can I control it? No, I can't. No.
Yes, sir. Actually, I'm controlling that. Don't worry, sir. Do let me know I'm there. Yes.
Yeah. So this first slide is our vision document first cover page, which gives an idea that how we are trying to integrate all domains in a sustainable, holistic manner, so that how interconnection, interlinkages are there. In one of this, you can see sustainable habitat. So green buildings, sustainable buildings are part of that sustainable habitat. It has so many other aspects: food, water, energy, then governance. Everything is covered under that. So how then today's topic is linked with that? Here I will be coming to. Next slide.
Yes, sir.
Slide. So what we say, I feel that how sustainable development 5 dimensions are applied to buildings. What I feel that buildings must be any building which is economically viable, socially acceptable, environmentally benign, and also creates ambience for inner peace of the occupants, users, and promotes a sense of interdependence, cooperation among the users. That is called sustainable building. It means it should have all those. Then only we can call it sustainable building. It stops then beyond green building. It means we are trying to be doing much more than only green building, which covers mostly environmental aspects. Next. So first, to begin with, you first try to answer why new building. Most of the green buildings, ratings, other things, they never try to answer this question. Why the building? Firstly, they start planning for the building as a green building, incorporating all green aspects, but they never try to first answer why are you planning this building? Why then there are so many buildings unutilized, underutilized? Why do we have to come to a level where we are now again constructing another building? So first question you should answer that. Then shouldn't the sustainability of the existing building be the top priority? Already so many buildings unsustainable, we are seeing so many. Then what should be our priority? Then why can't we have multi-purpose buildings? See, school building, it works morning, mostly sometime afternoon. Whole of the day it is vacant, under no utilization. Most of the day holiday, so many. Like that office buildings or single purpose buildings. So it needs to be considered at higher level. Why can't we have multi-purpose buildings? So that we have the maximum utilization of the resources. Then sustainability for how long? Or how long we are planning? Why what? How many years we'll call it is sustainable? 50 years, 60, 100 years. So what happens beyond that? These points we need to see. and then how it is linked with the other aspects of sustainability. Next, please. The basic principles which are outlined in the intelligent urbanization. I have just tried to mention this basic principle, which are again integrated into like 5 P's. See, we all know that a balance with nature. We have to emphasize that utilizing resources and exploiting them should be balanced. Then tradition. Most of the green buildings do not actually incorporate local tradition. So sustainable buildings actually considers that. Then appropriate technology, local based. Then conviviality. That means building should be having some sort of friendliness to promote friendliness, affability, and all that. Then efficiency part, of course, building efficiency, we already are aware. Most of the focus is on efficiency of the installations. Everything installed plant is efficient, highly efficient we consider, but user end we forget to incorporate. How, when the occupants are going to use this and maintain, how the efficiency will be maintained. Then human scale means it should have the people friendly. The building should be people friendly and merge with the local. Then opportunity matrix means building should be designed, or it is again integrated with actually urbanization, where every building should provide certain kinds of opportunities instead of just a single dimension. That these all points we have covered in that Mission Sustainable India 202. I request everyone to please read the chapter 9 of Mission Sustainable India document, where we have elaborated these points. And balanced movement means again movement car or cycles or pedestrian movement. Institutional integrity means it is not directly related but indirectly related, that if the hello. So institutional integrity relates to external bodies, their related to their accountability and transparent working. Next, please. Can go on to next, Kapil. Can move on to next slide. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Hello, Kapil. Next slide, please, Kapil. Hello.
मैं चला गया था सर एक्चुअली okay.
So here I have listed out some checklist for sustainable building design in 3 parts. We have covered environmental sustainability, social sustainability, and economic sustainability. So this relates to construction and design, life cycle durability, community needs, traditional techniques, energy efficiency, thermal mass. I think we can go rush through this, Kapil, because
Yes,
most of the people are already aware.
correct sir.
We can just have a glance. PPT will be shared, of course, with everyone.
Also, can you bit louder?
Huh?
Can you say a bit louder, or you
Louder,
can?
huh? Okay, okay. Is it better now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please. You can rush through. So this is also environmental sustainability. We are still continuing with the environmental sustainability. These points, end user, as I was talking about, end user facilitation of efficient use by the end user and their training. Training, yes. Accreditation part, some owners, they need that some sort of certification or rating, but that is more for their reports for showing off. But yeah, all these points are now well known. Just just as a reminder, I put construction on-site recycling composting. So any construction debris to be utilized, then anything to meet, it can be composted, has to be composted, water management. Next, this is all environmental sustainability. Then last few points about related to environmental sustainability, land. See, land is a one very important point, because building not only occupy land, but they also then have impact on the surrounding land and the contamination. It should not create a lot of that contamination, and all measures should be taken. Basically, again, we are coming to that those points to ponder which I told. If these points are then well considered, then we can answer. Why are we going for a new building? Why can't we utilize the existing buildings? Why cannot be there better ways to work or whatever? If the buildings of residential purpose, then again we have to try to answer that question. If the building is for industrial purpose, why can't we have mixed use? Why have we segregated strictly like that? Residential purposes, industrial purposes, commercial purposes, and then have all the buildings underutilized. Now, thankfully, of course, the blessing in disguise, COVID has the one way increase the utilization of residence, because people are now working from home, children are studying from home. So why can't we have that kind of planning? And now in the new way of living, why can't we think of buildings in that direction and have fewer buildings? Instead of having more building green and all that, why not we have fewer buildings? Now this aspect is related to social sustainability, cultural identity, aesthetic design, archaeological health and safety. Once again, when we consider this aspect while planning for new building, then again those points come into picture. Safety. community safety. Design and management should address the issue of community safety, antisocial behavior. This is also one very important point. Because of the isolated planning, many law and order situations, many other social problems happen due to this type of buildings. So when we have integrated in all aspects, then safety also will increase. Cultural identity will improve. Next. So these are the economic aspects. Sustainable development economy. As I was mentioning earlier again, next.
Next slide.
This one also local procurement. This is very important point. Building sustainable buildings to encourage to procure locally, local materials and boost local economics. This is the big priority while planning. So it means while planning and designing, this aspect should be given a top priority. And flexibility, I was coming to that flexibility part. That buildings should be planned in such a way that tomorrow, future it may need different purposes. It may be utilized for different purposes. So the building should be designed accordingly. In future, in case any changes in use happening, it should be easily possible. So it come to the present existing building. How can we utilize them for different purposes? So the multi-purposes. The possibility of multi-purpose, as I was telling before. So this increases the economic viability. Now I will give you example of Shiksha Kendra, which I have started. Now this is started in our home. Earlier my brother was staying alone, and there are 5 rooms, and he was alone. Myself, my wife were in Bangalore. By chance we came back here. Then I thought of utilizing the building properly, the home. It is constructed on a 2,400 square foot area, about 1,400 constructed area. But as per me, it was underutilized. So a waste of resources which have gone into the construction of the house. Then I thought of creating a activity center here and provide support to those who want to do self-learning homeschool. So in the process now I have increased the utilization purpose. Different. I am using it for education. I am also using it for conducting some programs. I am also using for residence. I am also using as a work from home. So that way, if the habitat of all purpose buildings are designed like that, we will have much more free land. There will be less pressure on the land. There will be more free spaces, parks, gardens, instead of jungles of buildings. So this is now again integrated to sustainable India. If we have this single approach, you imagine how other aspects of say need for water, need for energy, need for waste management, need for education, no need this now in, like Shiksha Kendra, surrounding kids are coming by walk. They don't need travel. They can walk in any time. They can walk out. Same way, if we have clusters like that, where everything happening there only, then people need not travel. So I am addressing the transport problem. I am addressing pollution problem. I am addressing the planning for water and energy, better planning. We can have better utilization of the resources. So how buildings are then linked with sustainability? This is what finally I wanted to convey, because buildings are visible. Buildings are visible to everyone. Every day we see. So unless the buildings are planned and executed and maintained accordingly, sustainability suffers. And that is why we have seen many old buildings, they demolish, again they reconstruct, because these were not designed considering all the 5 dimensions. One of the other dimensions was missing, and then we have to redo. I think this is the end of the presentation. Now I can take the questions and we can have more discussion. Actually, I was looking for discussion on the points to ponder. So if we can all discuss those points, it will be very useful interaction. Because theoretically and other points we already are aware. Something different, those points we need to discuss. If we can discuss those points, firstly, how to answer the first question, why new building? Then why can't we first make the existing building sustainable? Those points. So I invite members, I invite the participants to please tell their views on this, so that I will also learn. I can incorporate them in my mission, Sustainable India. We can incorporate these points and with due credit. Amitji,
Yes, sir.
so can we discuss these points only? Because
Sir,
all of the points are very known to most of the people. Why new building? Why can't we have multi-purpose building? Why can't we plan building bigger? Or why can't all those questions are put? Can participants tell about that? Why new building? Why can't we enhance the sustainability of this? Why can't
If anyone wants to ask the question, can raise so I can unmute them. So anyone
Yeah.
wants to ask the question?
whoever please wants to talk, please? Hello.
Yeah. So anyone wants to ask the question? Tapan sir.
Any question on? Any views on these points?
Kapil,
Yes, sir.
just quickly, sir has given about expressed his views on 2027 point. Just show those slides again.
One second.
I'm asking this points to ponder.
Hmm.
Slide number 5.
Slide number 5. So 1 minute. I'm just opening it.
Slide number 5.
One second, sir.
Take your time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, why new building? Most of the buildings are planned. This question is not answered.
Quickly show other slides also. Next. Swingy. Now let's come to the first slides, the points to ponder. Yeah. Sunilji, my question from you is that you are saying that why we should go for a new buildings. Is it your question?
Yeah, I mean, why the planners first don't answer? Why are you planning this building?
Because what I think is that new buildings are required for new requirements because old buildings have already been pulled up, they have already been occupied. So we need to have a new buildings.
No, but these are mostly superfluous, what do you say, superfluous justification. To go into depth, I can give many examples where in Delhi already they were having reasonable good building. Then
Yeah.
to show off that they have 5-star rated building or GRIA rated building or they plan and they very big plan building they plan. Means full justification I am not seeing. What should be the? Of course, it is easier to say that now we are expanding and we are having more people, so we need more new building. My point is that every time there should be proper justification, and what should be the criteria for justifying why we need constructing new building, especially for office or residences or industries. Many industries are lying vacant. This question is actually leading to bigger issues of where justification is given for new building. That is why congestion happens in cities and sort of concrete structures are created. We should raise this question whenever we are a part of designing of a new building. Where then next comes whether this much size building can we not have lesser. They tend to increase the floor area because more the floor area, more the fees for architects, bigger the project, bigger the cost, bigger the restriction. I am raising this basic question because we can always say we are planning green building, but we are not still justifying why the new building.
You mean to say that we should not go for a new construction? Is it your idea?
I am not saying that. I am saying that we should have some mechanism where project promoters, new building, those who are planning, constructing, they must be having a good.
Sir, your voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking. Your voice is not coming very clear.
What I'm saying,
From Mr. Ashokji. Ashokji wants to ask something. Yes, Ashok.
Sunilji, what you say is 100% correct. The first priority should be we have to take the existing buildings first, then only the new buildings. New buildings want building optimization as the first priority, whereas in the existing buildings we can definitely achieve that, and the consumer and the building owner or the residents, he will be motivated to go for the new building later. But first priority should be done on the existing buildings only. I agree with you 100%, Sunilji.
Yes, yes. You are right, sir. Ashokji, you are very well said. That's what I have in mind. But you see, this is a question which even if we ask and no one will bother. If it is made mandatory that there should be a first clause that justification of the new building. Why are you planning? And that too, why this size? Why can't it be smaller? There, that should be mandatory. Through this, I wanted to raise this point.
Sunilji,
Hmm.
in 2006, you started this energy pyramid. In the
Hmm.
energy pyramid, everyone started replacement. That is on the next stage only. But first is the energy conservation.
Yeah.
Similarly, in the buildings, the energy conservation has to be achieved to make it
Yes.
a better efficient building or a green building or a net zero building. And then only we have to think of new building. So
Yes.
you are very much right, Sunilji.
Yeah. Thank you, Ashokji. So I think 2 points are covered then. Any other point, Ashokji, you have?
I think we have to concentrate on the existing appliances and existing equipments inside the building and the practices to be improved on the existing buildings. And then only we can think of the new building or the envelope optimization, building envelope optimization, etc.
Hmm. Then what about having a multi-purpose buildings? You know, this idea is also very now, especially related to COVID, post-COVID. How can we, get it across that buildings and planning should be allowed to have multi-purposes?
Exactly, Sunilji.
For
Exactly,
example, I
Sunil.
gave my Grey Shiksha Kendra house. I increase the utilization of the house. Instead of people plan new school, they plan another building, they would buy that. When the existing infrastructure is underutilized, so how to put it across?
The COVID times, it has given lot of reverse engineering to the nation as such. All the like Kalyana Mandapams or the hospital, all the things have been converted to COVID medical checkup and hospital like
Yes,
centers. So that
yeah,
will be giving a memento or that will give a tip to
correct.
the authorities to take up this way, like make it multi-purpose buildings.
Right. See, hotels, then malls, then cinema halls. So many commercial complexes I see, they become like ghost after some time, ghost buildings, because their utilization is very less.
Exactly, Sunilji.
So
Yes,
these type of
Necessity.
points we should come out with when we talk of sustainable buildings. The hard part already we all know that we have to design efficiency, we have to see water, we have to see waste, we have to see this, that, all those points which checklist I have given. That anyway we will take care. But the fundamental questions remain.
Capacity utilization for a given building will definitely improve only if the building is made flexible to the flexible operators in the building or the residents in the building and make it 100% capacity utilization only by multi-purpose usage only.
Yeah. Harihar Iyer sir wants to tell something. Kapil. Iyer sir,
Yes, sir.
unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. Is I audible?
Very much,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So, in my view, sir, both the buildings are required. So existing building, that's commendable, sir. You have made a very even I'm inspired by the Grey Shiksha model that you have made. So, in the many instances, when the new building is made, we are also in the various of the projects. So when a new resort is coming up, when a new data center is coming up, it is very much required to make the existing with the new buildings model. Okay, so whenever there is a demand that there is a requirement of new building, people are now going with green, especially. And for the existing, yes, many people when they are doing a renovation, they are not going green because
No.
they found it's why it is required. It is
Yeah.
not in their priority, correct? So
Right.
I think both the buildings are required. Existing buildings need to be done green or sustainable. model as you suggested, as also the new buildings which are coming up now. As 66% infrastructure in India is yet to be made. Only 33 infrastructure is constructed. So I think 66% is coming up. Maximum need to be built in a green way. That is my point actually.
Yeah, may just see. I am not saying that new buildings are not needed. I am just saying that
Yes, sir.
whenever we plan a new building, we must ask this question: why are we planning? Because
Correct.
it is many buildings, as you know, are either not needed or over designed. Means unnecessary bigger
Correct, sir.
space.
So that is also a very important point actually. So many people invest a lot of amount in that. In the various of the metro cities, we have seen that. In Kolkata also, we have seen that. A lot of money wasted in that, in the glass facades and other stuff also. The very expensive glasses are used in that. So it is all because of the marketing or the lobbying, we can say about it. Okay.
Right.
So all we definitely keeping in mind all the points as you suggested. So
Yes. I think Mr. Iyer wants to talk. Mr. Iyer. Hello. Iyer, sir.
yes, sir, you can speak now. Mr. Iyer. I think they're not able.
Yeah. I invite all the
Completed. So can we conclude now?
Yes, yes, we can. I'm in the end, I would request all the participants to please be part of our Mission Sustainable India 2022. In that chapter, we have already written 13 chapters. One of the chapter is on sustainable habitat, and other chapters are on water, energy, then governance, sustainable education, sustainable bureaucracy, sustainable judiciary. All these chapters are written. Some more chapters are to be written. I invite all others to be part of this mission. And Ishre, I thank Ishre and Ishre Youth for inviting me.
Sir, I would like to invite Amit sir for vote of thanks and conclude the points. As I think Amit sir is the best person who can with you and writing the chapters, because he
Yeah.
is the man that who has redefined the IT of Rajasthan. He has designed a various tier 4 data centers in the state of Rajasthan. So it's commendable. Sir can also be in a good contribution in your mission sustainable. So I would like to invite Amit sir to please conclude the session and present the memento to Amit sir. I just do let me know. I will share the certificate on the screen.
Yeah. First, on behalf of Jaipur chapter, you present the memento to sir. Then I will speak about sir and the topic.
Once again, I think. So give me a minute. I'm just.
Yeah.
So this is a token of e-certificate.
Oh, thank you very much. Very nice.
Thank you, Sunil sir. I am really, very. मैं आपका जो है बहुत ही क्या मेरे पास वर्ड नहीं है आपके लिए, लेकिन मैं आपका बहुत ही कायल हूँ. I am very and I know Sunil sir for the last 7 to 8 years. He is a man of energy efficiency. I will rather say that his name is synonymous to energy efficiency in India. And Sunil sir plays a very vital role in one of our organization, which he was which he was that organization was only because of Sunil sir, that is known as Indian Association of Energy Management Professionals. And today's lecture, actually, Sunil sir, the thing was that I paid a very little attention towards your delivery. The thing was that I was behind the curtain managing the your lecture because of this initial hiccups. Therefore, I was not so participative in this lecture and was not able to ask you most of the questions. But definitely, what I have gained from the discussions made between you and others, that you have shown us a different dimension, and one of the important aspects in which you have drawn your attention of all the participants is that why we are going for such a large construction when we don't require that. I do agree with you, because when I went to China and I was going from Shenzhen to Hong Kong, in the road I have seen many buildings which were constructed, but they were all lying vacant. Somebody told me that this is all ghost city and nobody lives in these flats. So definitely by false construction we are unnecessary wasting lot of energy and lot of the material for construction and other things. And I would like to say that in Jaipur, I have seen many buildings in which this multi-purpose occupancy is there. Because nowadays in Jaipur, the buildings have come up which comprises of residential buildings, a mall, a commercial area, and even a picture hall. Because if you see, we have got such type of constructions in Vaishali Nagar, and also in Narayan Singh Circle, the main mall which you see is built on the similar guidelines. We have got a residential area on upper floors and commercial area on the ground and other floors. So definitely, in the pre-COVID area, the aspects and the these our city architects or urban development department used to go for master plans in which they used to divide the area of the city in various parts like residential, commercial, industrial, and others. But nowadays, the COVID has changed the entire life cycle of the or the lifestyle of the people, and we see that now most of the people are searching for such type of houses in which they can also do their official works. So now during this post-COVID area, definitely what you have suggested and the thing which you have drawn the mind of the the participant will definitely look for that. And I, being a part of the government, I will also draw attention of the decision makers towards the various questions which we have raised in this your webinar. And I am very much thankful to Sunilji for giving your time and to this to Jaipur chapter and the participants who heard you very attentively. And there were some hiccups at the time, initial hiccups when the webinar started, and so I am really on a personal note very sorry for that. And definitely we will I will ask all the members to improve it, and we will call you for another webinar, and then that type of the webinar will be more on discussion part rather than on the PowerPoint presentation, because I know you are a very great thinker and you think out of the box. So thank you once again on behalf of the Jaipur chapter. And definitely, when this this COVID era will be over, we will call you to the Jaipur, and we will invite you for our very important program which we organize here annually. That is our Urja Varan, and we will take your views on that, and will definitely gain from you. Thank you once again from Jaipur chapter, and I thanks one again to all the CWC members of the Jaipur chapter for organizing such a program. And thanks to Kishan, and thanks to Kapil, thanks to Ram and others who gave their time to organize it. Thank you, Sunil sir, once again. Thanks.
Thank you, Sunil sir. Thank you, Amit sir. Thanks a lot. So we will definitely would like to have you in Jaipur, Sunil sir, as we have discussed prior also. Definitely, after the COVID era, we'll invite you. So, sir, shall I end the event now?
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks for
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you to all.
Thanks, Ram.
good night.
Yes, sir.